Welcome to Movie Recall. In today's video, we'll be going through the 2018 romance comedy film When We First Met. It's time to recall. Let's get started, turn on subtitles, and spoilers ahead. The movie starts with an engagement party going on. Avery tells the story about how she met her fiancé for the first time. On the other hand, Noah is remembering how he met Avery for the first time. Noah remembers how he fell in love with Avery Martin after meeting her at a 2014 Halloween party. He really liked her costume as it was from one of his favorite movies. They got to talk when Avery spilled her drink on Noah. They both started off talking and found out they had a lot in common. Noah then took her to the jazz bar where he worked and played piano for her. Then Avery took Noah to a photo booth where Noah was making boring poses, and Avery asked him to make a pose they will remember for a long time. They then went to Avery's house where they played the foosball game. Noah then got really angry and ended up eating the whole packet of Cookie Crisps. Avery told Noah a lot about her, and he liked everything about the girl. They have a great time together, and at the end of the meeting, Noah was about to kiss Avery, and this is when we get back to the present. In the next scene, we see Avery kissing her fiancé, whose name is Ethan. Noah seems upset, and he gets really drunk. The next thing, he finds himself in the bathroom and Avery follows him. He tells her not to worry about him, saying he just has food poisoning. She then asks her friend Carrie to drop Noah. Carrie is someone who loves capturing random moments on her camera, and this is what she does with Noah. She then asks her what's going on with him. He tells her that he really loves Avery. He says that he keeps thinking about the night they met. The two then go to see Noah's friend Max, where Noah continues the story. We're back to the scene where they were about to kiss. We see that Avery actually hugged Noah, telling him that she was happy that she found a good friend in the city. However, Noah was not happy about just being her friend. He thought he would get another chance, but the very next day, she met Ethan. Remember the Cookie Crisps? Noah ate the whole packet and Avery went to the mall the next day to get Cookie Crisps, and this is where she met Ethan. The man's appetite just screwed him, didn't it? We're back in the present. Noah blames himself for everything, and Carrie tells him that Avery has never had a crush on him. She just considers him a friend. Carrie then leaves as she has a job tomorrow. Noah then goes to the same photo booth he went to with Avery that night. There, he wishes for a second chance with Avery. When he wakes up the next morning, he sees that everyone is wearing costumes, and then he sees the newspaper and finds out that he's time traveled. He has time traveled to exactly the day he met Avery. So today is going to be the night when he met Avery. He then tells everything to his friend. From a window, he sees Carrie taking pictures. He goes to her and starts talking to her about last night and everything. Carrie gets weirded out because she doesn't know him. She thinks that Noah is some creepy guy who's been stalking her. Noah is really excited that he's going to meet Avery tonight. He picks up a nice dress, goes to the same party, and gets Avery talking to him, but this time spilling the drink and saving Avery from falling. He tells her everything that is common between them to give her the impression that they have so much in common. Noah tells her everything about herself, and she gets really surprised. He then says that he thinks they have a connection. He then takes her to the same bar and does everything the way Avery wanted that night. When they get to Avery's house, Avery receives a message from Carrie who tells her that she is coming over. Noah gets nervous because he weirded out Carrie that very morning. Before leaving, Noah kisses Avery, and Carrie arrives soon after. Upon seeing Noah there, she tells Avery that Noah is a creepy stalker who's been stalking her and looks like he's stalking you as well. Avery then says that he knows everything about her as well. They both get scared and start beating up Noah. The next morning, Noah wakes up and thinks that everything was a dream because he got drunk last night. He thinks he should apologize to Avery. He goes to Avery's house and Ethan opens the door. He doesn't recognize Noah. Avery comes and starts shouting, saying that this is the stalker from 3 years ago. They beat him up very badly and Noah barely manages to get out of there. Noah realizes that he's now facing the consequences of what he has done when he time traveled. He again goes to the photo booth and wishes to go 3 years back. He wakes up the next morning and realizes that he's in the past again. He calls Max and tells him that he needs his help. Max tells him that girls are into playboys, so he should act like a playboy. He asks him to show a little attitude and make her feel like you're just full of yourself. He basically tells him to act like a total jerk. He takes Max's advice, and at the party that night, he makes fun of Avery's dress. He then says he will bring her a drink, and when he does, he asks her to tell him something personal about her if she wants that drink. Avery gets pissed off and starts walking away. Noah then says he knows she likes him, and she denies that. She then pushes him into the swimming pool. Noah then apologizes to her and asks her to help him out. When she gives him a hand, Noah pulls her into the pool as well. She gets angry and starts yelling at him. Amidst all this, they start kissing. Avery kisses Noah back, and the next thing, they're getting in bed together. The next morning, Noah wakes up in 2017 again, but he's in bed with Avery. He He hugs Avery from behind, who asks her why he's being like this. Their relationship is not that kind. She tells him that she was feeling down, so she called Noah just for a one-night stand. Since Noah was acting like a playboy when he traveled back in time, now this has become his image. Avery never takes him seriously. She just calls him for a one-night stand when she needs him. Then Noah sees that Avery is going for a jog with Ethan. He gets jealous and says he will go too. He's unable to keep up with Ethan and finds himself out of breath in no time. Carrie stays with him and Avery keeps up with Ethan. Noah then tells Carrie that whatever he does, Avery always hates him. He tells her that he really loves Avery. Carrie then tells him that Avery wants a man who is mature and has a steady job. Noah then motivates himself to get a nice job. He time travels again, gets a nice job, meets Avery that very night at the Halloween party, and acts very mature and serious in front of Avery. He tells her that he wants to spend his whole life with her. They go to the same bar, Noah buys expensive drinks, and there, Avery gets to know that Noah used to work at this place. Noah then tells her that he now has a nice job and wants to make a nice career for himself. In the next scene, we're back in the present and see Noah waking up at a desk. He looks around and finds himself in a big house. He's put on a little weight as well. He's happy that he's now a successful man. He's really rich now. He sees a card and finds out that today is his and Avery's engagement party. He's very happy with the fancy house and Avery living with him. He's a little surprised to see that Carrie is living with them as well. He's not too thrilled about it, but Avery says that when he's out on his business days for days, it's nice to have Carrie in the house. He then sees his car. He has the car of his dreams. Upon getting to the office, he finds out that he's being promoted. He goes to the office, meets a Chinese man, talks to him in Chinese, then has an argument with his friend Max, who thinks he should be the one sitting in this office. Noah realizes that he needs a little time off from the office because he's really stressed. This is when his secretary comes to him and tells him that he's booked for the next 3 months and can lose his job if he takes even a single day off. He gets late for his engagement party. He gets there and tries to sing the same song for her, the one he sang at the bar 3 years ago, but his voice is terrible now. He then goes to the bathroom where Ethan is drunk. This is the same scene we saw at the start. The men are just different. How the tables have turned. Noah then drives Ethan home. Ethan tells him that he's really ashamed of himself for being so pathetic. He adds that he proposed to Avery on her engagement day. Noah then asks what did she say. He tells him she said she wished things could be different. Noah now understands that Avery does not really love him. He gets back home very late that night. Carrie is still up. He tells her everything and she says that she knows it already. She then tells him that Avery really cares for him and that she will never leave him. Noah now realizes that he is not the right man for Avery. He again travels 3 years back. This time he brings Ethan with him to set him up with Avery. He introduces them to each other and he goes on to talk to Carrie. The two talk for quite a while and Noah realizes that Carrie could be the one for him. This time, he takes Carrie to the bar. They start discussing music and find out they have a lot in common. They literally bond on music. It turns out that everything Avery was doing, Carrie was the mastermind behind her, the music, the costume, the foosball table. They spend some quality time together. So Noah realizes that Carrie is actually the one who has a lot in common with him. She's actually the one he should be with. He thinks that the two of them will be perfect for each other. The next morning, we are again back to the present. Noah wakes up at his friend Max's place. He finds out that he never met Carrie after that one night. He then goes to see Carrie. He tells her that they met 3 years ago and feels they have a lot in common. Carrie freaks out and tells him that she's going on a date right now. He then realizes that the only reason he spent time with Carrie was that she was friends with Avery, so he has to be friends with her. He again goes to the bar and finds out that photo booth is not there anymore. They've sold it out. He gets really upset, thinking that he would never be able to make his life the way he wants. He starts drinking too much. He's at the bar. Avery comes here with Ethan and she sees Noah. Noah tells her that the photo booth is not there anymore. Avery then tells him that it's at her place now. She bought it because she knew Noah really liked it. Noah then goes to her house, he makes a wish again, and travels 3 years back. He does everything exactly the way he did 3 years ago. The next morning when he wakes up, it's Avery's engagement day. He goes to the engagement party and there he meets Carrie. Both start talking and Noah asks her if she's in the mood for some music. Carrie and the two start walking out of the party. As they are walking out, Noah keeps taking pictures of her just like she used to take random pictures of him. Then we see a bunch of pictures of both of them. We see in the pictures that they are perfectly happy together. This is how a boy who travels back in time in order to be with his crush ends up being together with her best friend. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.